Good morning, Unity Halton Peel. It is the 2nd of March already. Who knew how quickly this month would go, the last month would go? I know it was a short month, but really, how did it get to be March already? So welcome to our Sunday gathering. I'm Wendy Karr, a licensed Unity teacher, your host and speaker for today. So let's come together. And let's start by just taking a moment and appreciating all who are on the call, all who will be watching at a later time on social media, YouTube and or Facebook. And let's just take this thought into our mind and our hearts. And together we affirm we at Unity Halton Peel are blessed with an abundantly thriving community. And it is done. And by thriving community, we not only mean that we are thriving as a community, but that we each individually are thriving, that we each individually are a blessing to the world and are providing the light and the love and the peace and the prosperity and the wholeness through our actions, through our words, and through our thoughts. Our mission here at Unity Halton Peel is to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And that takes many forms, and we'll talk a bit about that towards the end of our gathering. And now I'll call on Margaret to read our daily word for today.
Thank you, Wendy. So the theme or the topic is positivity. Sunday, March the 2nd. Through positivity, I can do all things through the divine presence within me. I've heard it said, most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. These words show me the importance of positivity and how an upbeat attitude can keep me afloat upon the rough waters of life. Positivity helps me to see the world as full of joy and possibility. Difficulties may arise, but my confident faith in the goodness of God gives me the power to cross the stormy seas, to find calm waters and the warmth of sunshine. The light of God surrounds, enfolds, and uplifts me. When I center my thoughts on the divine within, I feel equipped to meet all challenges. God's indwelling grace sees me through the stormy days. Even as squalls of sadness toss me about, by faith I will outlast the gales and reach calm seas again. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the springs of life. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23.
Thank you, Margaret. All right. The song I don't think we've used in a while, and this picture is meaningful to me. I took it in Pennsylvania as I was driving. Shh, don't tell the sheriff. A little Daniel Nahmod to get us started.
Just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right
righty. Love that song. So, as I said at the beginning, it is March, and our theme for the month is I am guided. I am in tune with Spirit's guidance. And I want to take a moment and bless all the March babies for your birthday. And may you have a blessed birthday or birth week or birth month if you can pull it. And may you have a blessed week, a blessed year to come. All right, let's just take a moment to encompass our wonderful Unity Canada community and our monthly prayer list for the month of March. We hold in light and love Unity Kitchener and the Canadian licensed Unity teachers like myself and our colleague Debbie Long. We both serve here at Unity Halton Peel and elsewhere. And let's just take a moment and see our country whole and free and blessed. And so it is. Our March affirmations. A photo of the Rose Garden at Unity Village, our world headquarters. For inner peace, I claim divine peace in this now moment. For wisdom, I claim divine wisdom to know the way forward. For health, I claim divine strength, health, and vitality in every moment. For strength, I claim the courage of divine strength. For world harmony, I claim divine love to spread harmony throughout the world. And now we're going to have a second song.
In the morning when I rise, and before I close my eyes, anytime I'm in despair, I just speak this little prayer. God's light surrounds me, God's love enfolds me, God's power protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. When the cold winds start to blow and they beat upon your door, every night will have its dawn. Hold this thought as you hold on. God's light surrounds you, God's love enfolds you, God's power protects you. The presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is. We all hear the Spirit call. It's a small world after all, bound together in and through this one common simple truth. God's light surrounds us, God's
haven't had that one in a little while. I was looking for what to use today, and that jumped out at me. So for the rest of this year, as the opening act for the month, I'm going to be going through the Unity calendar and using the affirmations from the calendar and just finding ways to make that a practical application in our lives. So we're going to use the 12 powers. And if you're new to Unity, if you're watching this video and you're saying, what is this all about? So our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, decided that spiritual truths were too big to be taken in one bite. I kind of like to think of it as kind of like being a huge block of cheese, one of those big round things. You ever seen some of those big cheddar that, they roll down hills in Cheddar, England? So something like that. It's too big to take on, but we can grade off a little bit at a time. So he discerned a way of applying spiritual principles to 12 disciples and to 12 aspects of our lives. And the first one is faith, which is represented by Peter, who was the first disciple called. And faith is in our head, so it's in the midst of our intellect. It's in that space of, it's an interesting kind of paradox that our faith is in our brains in the same spot as our thoughts. And so we take that faith and we grow with it from a place where we have faith that people will obey stop signs and traffic lights to a place where spiritually we understand that no one and nothing can hurt us and that everything is for our good, which sometimes it may not feel like that. But to have that faith that somewhere in this great cosmos, in the eternity, in the divinity that we are, there is that connection to something that is so much greater than ourselves that we can't really begin to express it. We just know. We just have that sense of, yes, that is true. Yes, I believe that. Yes, that is something that I can hitch my wagon to and head for the stars. The second, uh, we can call them spiritual powers, or I like divine abilities or innate abilities. The idea that this isn't something that we have to create. This is something that's already in us. We just have to figure it out. We just have to allow that to expand and grow through us. It's kind of like, I think of these abilities as kind of like having a child, and they're 3 or 4 and they're in the home that has a piano, and all of a sudden you hear music coming and you're like, what's going on? And the kid has climbed up on the piano bench and started playing because they have this innate ability to play music, or they have an innate ability to jump very far, or they have an innate ability to make beautiful paintings even at a young age. So too with these spiritual powers, so too with these spiritual aspects of us. They're in there. We just need to nurture and acknowledge and accept that they are there and use our best uh, thoughts and words and deeds to support them. So strength includes physical strength, emotional strength, psychological strength, intellectual strength, and spiritual strength. You'll note that the place that folks have put that is in the small of our back. Anybody else know immediately if they've picked up a box the wrong way or something heavy the wrong way? Oh, that part of my body will tell me instantly. And my faith will remind me that you know better. You understand the principles of how your spine works and how your body works. So let's use that. The third power, which is this month's, is wisdom. And again, there's a human side to the wisdom and a spiritual side to the wisdom because we are made up of both halves. I've always said it's kind of like a coin. You roll on the edge. You've got your human side, you've got your spiritual side, and you find that balance and roll on the edge between the two. Sometimes you wobble one way or the other, but the idea is that we find that balance between our human needs and desires and our spiritual capabilities, our spiritual desire to be of the oneness and part of that greater good, that greater sense of self than we can humanly imagine. And wisdom is set down here. I can't sit high enough for you to see, but you can see in the gentleman's shirt, it's in our solar plexus, that gut feeling. And I have found for myself very much that these three right here, if I'm listening to these three and working with them, I will have better choices. I will make better decisions than if I just go by my intellect alone. I found that finding this balance and finding this ability to listen to not only my body, because sometimes I don't hear the inspiration. Sometimes I'm so in my thoughts that I can't hear the whisper of my heart. And that is our next one, love, represented by the gospel, by the disciple John. So when I am in a space where I have a decision to make or I need to do something, sometimes my body will speak up first. And that may sound kind of woo-woo to some folks, but I know that if my faith, my heart, my love, and my wisdom are in alignment with each other, and they are in agreement with each other, that I am safe to take that next best step. I add the strength just because I want to know that that is got the support, that there is that support. And sometimes I have had times where there are situations that I'm in, and for no apparent reason, I haven't been lifting anything heavy, I haven't moved in a funny way, I haven't been sitting too long, my back will just twinge. It'll just like spasm for a moment. And I cannot figure out humanly why I'm spazzing in my back. And then when I stop and listen, I have an awareness of pay attention. Something's happening, and you're not paying attention into your spiritual self. So the human self is going to make sure you listen. So what does this all have to do with guidance? This has to do with knowing that guidance is more than just kind of sitting and flipping a dice or okay, yeah, I'm listening, I think, I'm not. There's some great wisdom to being in awareness of both our human and divine selves. I'm going to share with you a few ideas. You don't have to take my word for them. These are all things I've used in the time I've been in Unity and in my time as a licensed Unity teacher. So these are things that I have used and had constructive and good outcomes with. So you can say I've pre-tested them for you. Pray. Now in Unity, we use what is called affirmative prayer. And by that we mean that we align ourselves with a good outcome. We don't beg, we don't beseech, we don't plead, we don't use wording like I am so unworthy. We claim our good as a spiritual being. We know that there is this eternal divine whatever. I don't even have the words for it. Language is such a frustration when it comes to explaining spiritual principles because there simply isn't language. But to know that there is this oneness, to know that there is this principle, this consciousness, this beingness that encompasses all of us. We are all part of it. It's a matter of to what extent are we aware and engaged with it, and perhaps not. Sometimes it can be hard to pray. Sometimes it can be hard to engage with the process, especially if you are facing a very challenging situation, like you've been given a diagnosis that is uncomfortable, that might scare you, that might look like it's the end of your life being predicted. That can be very scary. That can be, I haven't had the experience, so I don't know what it feels like, but I know what it feels like when someone has said to me, I have this situation. Will you pray with me? And the first thing I do as a prayer chaplain is get myself out of the way. And I also change the wording from a prayer request to a prayer intention. And by an intention, we are saying, we're not asking, we're claiming. We are affirming that health and wholeness and well-being is a divine state. We are affirming that guidance will be confirmed of what the next best step is. Let's take it to something a little less dramatic. I wake up with a runny nose. You might say, well, what's with that? There is nothing I can't take to prayer. I can go into prayer and say, okay, my nose is running, I'm feeling a little off. Do I need to go make a doctor's appointment? I listen. Perhaps I'm given the advice, no, go back to bed for a few hours. It's something small. It'll resolve itself. Or maybe I get the inspiration that I need to hit out my crock pot and make some chicken soup or other soup if you're not so inclined to put animal product into it. Our co-founder Charles always said, go to God first, go to Spirit first, whatever name you have for this divine, eternal existence, consciousness. We use the word God because it's a simple way of identifying. Go to God first and thereafter as God directs. If I stub my toe and I'm in pain and I get the idea to, you'd better get that checked out, I'm going to go. I might call a friend or an Uber or something so I'm not driving myself. I've broken a couple toes in my day. We want to do the things that are healthy for us. So we pray. Prayer is often considered to be the active part of a session of quiet. Meditation is our time of listening. And it doesn't have to be sitting down while you're praying. Meditation can be a quiet walk through the woods or through nature. Or one of my personal favorites, walking a labyrinth. No words are spoken. I'm trying to get my intellect calmed down and quiet down. Sometimes I can. Sometimes it needs to be thrown a bone to chew on while I get into that quiet space where I can truly be aware of what is mine to do. And perhaps some guidance on what is not mine to do that my human self is quite convinced is mine to do. Now, I know that doesn't apply to anybody else. That's unique to me. But that is what we mean by meditation and unity, that quiet time, that time of listening, that time of going into the closet, as Jesus said, and closing the door and just being in that space. Now, both of those could be active. There's nothing wrong with praying while you're walking. There's nothing wrong while praying while you're driving, although I do recommend you not close your eyes. Just saying. Reflect. It may be that you need to do some intellectual work on this. You may need to do some looking at perhaps your own shadow, perhaps on the bigger picture of what's happening in the world and how it's impacting you. An opportunity just to let go of thoughts around what it means and just allow yourself, hold up the mirror to yourself. What does this mean to me? What is this telling me? Journaling. Confession time, not one of my favorite things to do. When I do get into a space where I feel that journaling is my next best choice of activity, I will do it with my non-dominant hand. Messy as all get out. I often do not save my journals just because of that, but it rewires your brain a little bit for that time. And I find often that I will get a different answer than I was expecting as I'm writing. I'm triggering different memories somehow. I'm triggering different feelings somehow. And it's not that it's, a totally opposite story, but just the focus is slightly different by using my non-dominant hand. Observe. That's a big one for me, to just step back from all these decisions that need to be made and just look around, look within. What am I seeing? What am I feeling? What is this triggering in me? If it is. I usually find it does. So that's my human experience. But just to, as neutrally as you can, observe what's going on. And if needs be, there might be things to investigate. It may be that you're looking to change your residence. Well, you're not just going to stand up and say, okay, pack it all up, put it in a truck, and we'll just drive till we find the house. You need to go through the steps of what kind of home am I looking for? Am I looking for an apartment? Am I looking for a townhouse? Am I looking for a small cottage on the edge of a lake? Am I looking for a great mansion that will hold all of my friends when they want to visit? Sometimes we have to take those human steps to find out what our next best step is. It's easy for me to get bogged down in the investigation because sometimes I don't like having to be in that uncomfortable place of not knowing what's next. But I recognize there's a point at which you need to take that step. You need to set aside all of these things and breathe and go back to my powers, my faith, my love, my wisdom, my strength. There are still 8 more, but these are the 4 I probably use the most. And just say, okay, what's next? And then I put feet on my prayers and I get moving. And remain open. It may be that something changes, that a circumstance that is beyond your control changes, and you need to make a slight detour. I'm sure I've shared this story before, but it's such a great example for me. I had applied for a job. I had been interviewed by a panel for the job. They seemed really enthusiastic about hiring me. And then I heard nothing for 3 months. So I said, okay, well, this or something better, because that's my usual way of affirming that whatever's going to happen for my best good, I don't try to control it. I just try to be open and receptive. So 3 months later, I'm hired. Well, what had happened behind the scenes was the person that I was replacing, they'd miscalculated when she was going to retire. And she needed 3 more months in order to get her full pension. I'm not going to begrudge her that she needed to get her full pension. That's her highest good. It's not taking away from my good. It's not pie. It's abundance. And being able to go with the flow and just say, okay, that was interesting, going from not hearing anything to, can you come in Monday and start work? Of course I can. I've done all the prep work. Was I nervous? Of course I was. Stayed with that job for 12 years though, so something must have worked, right? And a final thought. Inner growth may not be visible, but it provides the structure for the outer expression. The steps that I just shared are developing your roots as you move forward, so that as you move into the outer and do things in this outer world, you know that you have a firm foundation to draw on. And now let's take a moment and have our time of prayer and meditation. I've put these slides back up because I'm going to invite us to just breathe into the space, going within to that place where we feel our connection to the Holy of Holies, that space where we know who we truly are, a divine eternal being having a human experience. And breathing into our body, we acknowledge and give thanks for our faith faculty, our strength faculty, our wisdom faculty, and our love faculty. We know and acknowledge that these four have both their human aspects and their spiritual aspects, and that we can tap into both as needed. And breathing in, bring to mind any prayer intentions you have. Seeing the people for whom you are holding an intention, filled with the lights of these powers, knowing that they too are heir to our innate abilities of faith and strength and wisdom and love. Knowing that we cannot know what is right for them, but we can hold in our hearts, in our minds, that the best possible outcome will come into manifestation, and that we recognize the wisdom of each to follow their own guidance. And now in the silence, let us hold these beloved souls in our hearts and in our minds, in the silence. And together we acknowledge that we are the light of the world, that as we move through each day, following the guidance of our hearts and minds and wisdom, we are a beacon to the world. We hold the intention of love, prosperity, peace, wholeness, every need of human life, comfort, restoration. We listen for our guidance, and we choose to take that next best step. And so it is, and it is so. Amen.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. I am happy. I am happy.
Our Unity Prayer Chaplains are always available to pray with and for you. You can email our lead prayer chaplain at praywithdiane@gmail.com. Your prayers are shared confidentially with the prayer team, and then after 30 days, they are sent to Silent Unity, our world prayer organization, for an additional 30 days of prayer. As always, thank you for your continued support of this ministry. There are a number of ways that you can share your financial gifts, and we thank you in advance. And let us join together. Divine love now flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and is a blessing wherever it goes. And thank you in every language. We are a tithing community. We tithe to Unity Canada and to Eden Food for Change. And they are doing wonderful work. And they had their coldest night of the year event last month, and I trusting that it was a success and that we will continue to bless those who are finding their way. If this is your first time joining us online through social media, please join us with our newsletter at our website and sign up for our newsletter so that you can find out what's happening. So what's happening? Well, believe it or not, this Wednesday is Ash Wednesday, which means Tuesday is Pancake Day. Yay! We will be reviewing the Lenten booklet, as has been our tradition for many, many years. Wednesdays from 2 to 3:30 Eastern Time. The password and meeting code are on the screen. please feel free to join us. The Canadian Licensed Unity teachers will be facilitating this. My colleague Judy will be leading the first one, and I'll jump in at some point between now and Holy Week, and we will just come together and have an open discussion about what's in the booklet and what it has to say for us. If, however, a booklet discussion is not your style, there is a second group that is starting on Ash Wednesday, Living the 7 Steps of Creation with Reverend Dr. Rosemary Hyde. She is a colleague of mine. She is well versed in the Blue Zone, which is a relatively recent discovery of finding out what's unique to places where people seem to live longer than others, and just taking that and finding the spiritual principles behind it. And she will be leading everyone through the 7 steps of creation. So that's an excellent book based on Charles Fillmore's The Mysteries of Genesis. And it is co-sponsored by Unity of Montreal. Reminder, next week we start daylight savings time, so spring forward. Put a reminder in your clock, in your phone if you have analog clocks that have to be changed. I think I'm down to 3 now, so I don't waste that whole hour changing the clocks. Next week, with the change in time, we will also be welcoming back Reverend Mary Wood. Those of you who don't know her, she used to be our minister before deciding to take retirement and spend more time with her family and friends in her spiritual journey, and she will be speaking on God's free gifts. On the 16th, we will be welcoming my colleague, Pauline Duncan Thrasher. She is the spiritual leader at Unity of London. Some of you may know I go to London once a month, so I'm excited for Pauline to come and join us here. On the 23rd of March, Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons will be joining us for Inspired and Unstoppable. And our last Sunday, our colleague and friend Debbie Long will be back with When God Steps In, Miracles Happen. Also on the 30th, please plan on a little extra time after the gathering for our annual general meeting. You know, the thing we do once a year. Make sure that we're in alignment with what is required of us as a charity. Upcoming, last chance, 300 plus room and board. The annual Canadian conference. I am so excited. We are going to be in person. This will be the first in-person Canadian conference I have attended since before COVID. So it's been a long time since I've gotten to see my friends in person, and I'm excited. I've got some news from different folks that they're going to be attending, and after 5 years of seeing them on Zoom, I'm going to get to meet them in person. I'm also very pumped because Reverend Martha Creek will be our keynote speaker, and she always has amazing things to share with us about how to do ministry, how to take our spiritual lives and just blossom them. So I'm really excited to be going back out west to see everyone and experience this. We're going to have a whole bunch of workshops led by a number of people. So it won't just be sitting in a room, you know, doing whatever. There are going to be activities that are more experiential, and that's going to be wonderful. So I'm affirming good weather. You never know in Calgary, things can get kind of crazy. So it's May the 14th through the 17th. And more details available at unitycanada.org. Just find the link for conference, and there are, as I say, more details there. And that's it. Madam President, have I missed anything?
No, you've done a really great job as usual. I will share that our contribution to Eden Unity walking team, we sent 500 to support Mona and another 250. So our tithe this month was $750, or last month, to Eden Food for Change. And I want to say thank you to all of you for your extra contributions towards that, as well as your regular tithes, because we do make sure that we send a healthy tithe out for Eden Food and Unity Canada. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Mona, for braving the weather and being out there and supporting this great cause. And we bless you and we appreciate all you're doing with that.
Absolutely. It was, without a doubt, it was the coldest night of a number of years on that night. So way to go, Mona. Yeah. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you. All right. As we draw our gathering to a close, let us just take a moment to bless our children. And I'm going to include in this my inner child, because my inner child is alive, well, and ageless. So let us together say, children and youth of unity and of the world, we love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. And they are perfect in every way, even when they're driving us crazy. And let us join in our closing prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And as is our tradition, we'll ask Suke Riley to sing us out.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one sun. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose
Thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you in the future. Have a wonderful week.